Hello to all my people. In this occasion, we will have an interview with Rieckelmann. He's an artist. He was part of the Scorpions, and now he is working as DJ, right? And other
Yeah.
things. So we are very happy to know about you. So we have some questions to talk about it. And tell me, how are you?
I'm doing fine. Happy Valentine's Day to everyone.
Okay, we'll start with the questions, because the time is rush. Uh,
Yeah.
what you do to make a better world?
What do I do to make a better world?
Yeah, you know.
Well, every artist, whether he's a painter, a writer, a poet, or a musician, I think, creates some kind of magic that people can digest one way or another, and to bring happiness and to bring knowledge and the wisdom to the world. You just spread um, you just spread. It's kind of like a replacement of nature, because we live in a very civilized world, so we don't have much nature around us anymore. We're all surrounded by like cement and buildings and electronic devices. Everyone's like always on their cell phone and stuff like that. So when you listen to art, or you digest art in any kind of form, like, let's say, like, you look at a great painting, or you look at listen to a great song, it replaces the power of nature, I think, that brings harmony to the human soul. And every artist, every musician, with every song, with every time you perform, or you record a song in the studio, and people listen to it, it brings harmony, or any kind of emotions. Now I only see you.
Okay.
Is that supposed to be like this?
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay, I don't see myself anymore. I see myself very small. Is that what you want?
No, we will record. You will be in video. It's
Oh,
okay.
okay.
It's okay. It's okay.
So, anyways, yeah, it's like I said, to me, I think artists are the ones that replace nature to our civilization, and bring harmony, and also you can, I think, more than politicians, especially young people, they listen to artists, whether it's actors, musicians, like lyrics. You can spread a lot of knowledge and messages around the globe by creating music and writing good lyrics. And I think those have more impact than most of the politicians, because people don't really trust politicians anymore, but they look up to artists and so-called celebrities, which I don't really like that word, because I think everyone just cooks with water, we're all the same. But yeah, that's what I think. And for me, every time I paint, or I DJ, or when I'm on stage with the Scorpions, or did a record or anything like that, I was creating art that eventually ends up in someone's hand, or in someone's head, or that is just like that I think just creates happiness and inspiration.
Okay. Awesome. Another question is: you were kind of late when the time you work with the Scorpions. Do you think nowadays you can be better from the past time?
What?
Do you think that on this time you can be better,
Better with what?
have more skills, something like that? Be more
You mean
skillful?
playing bass?
Yes.
The Scorpions never really required many skills to play as a bass player. Um, my background is more like, jazz, blues, funk, classical music. I studied classical music on the conservatory. I played upright bass and piano. So my musical skill was never really used to the fullest in that band. Because in a band like Scorpions or any other rock band, you really just have to play, subtle background stuff. I never really did any solo stuff, which, it's actually more my strength to play fretless, like a lot of, complicated solo and like more like complex music, which, I was never able to use. I mean, a couple of songs we actually used like slapping bass or like upright bass, or we used fretless a few times. And there's even like two or three songs where I played small solos. But like I said, now or back then, it's the same. I in that band, I have definitely not, used my full capacity that I could have used.
Oh, okay.
The music just doesn't call for it.
So another question can be what you have learned about the past time.
What?
What
From
you
the past?
yes?
Which past time?
If we talk like 10 years ago, something like that.
Oh, you mean in general?
Yeah, in general.
Time?
Yeah, in general.
Well, times definitely have changed. As I was mentioning earlier, like now there's a lot of like, mobile communication. The internet is very strong. While I mean, like, social media and all that is taking over pretty much everything. And 10 years ago, we didn't have all that. I think people were communicating a lot more one on one. And now a lot of people are communicating, through the internet, by texting, by exchanging social media. And I think it actually drives the human race more apart than brings it together. I don't think it's necessarily better, but there's not much you can do to change it. You can try to raise awareness, to pick up a book and read it, or like communicate with the people that are in your room rather than staring at your phone the whole time. Or when you're driving around here in LA, almost all the people, as soon as they stop at a red light, they look at their cell phones. Back in the days, 10 years ago, you stopped at a red light, people were waving at you. So there's a big difference, but I think it's a sign of the times. Social media technology has definitely taken over the world, and is it good? Is it better? I don't think so, but there's also a lot of people use social media for the better. A lot of people get discovered on YouTube that back then was not possible. So now it also has its positive sides. Now a small artist can sit at home with one laptop and a small keyboard and a guitar and create a whole record, by himself, which back in those days was not possible. You had to have a record company, you had to have a real studio, you had to have all kinds of stuff to do that. And this person now can, put this on YouTube and expose himself all over the world, or herself all over the world, which is good, because that, gives you a much wider audience. But at the same time, it also, 10 years ago, everyone knew who played in what band. There was a certain amount of bands that everyone knew, and everyone knew the musicians that were in those bands. Now, I think a lot of people don't really know who's who anymore. There's so much out there that it's really hard to follow up and focus on what you really like,
Yes, like social media. If social media doesn't exist, we won't do the interview. Something like that.
Well, yeah, that's another example, which is in this case is good. It makes it easy for us, but at the same time, you know, back in the days, you just did a few interviews and people saw them on MTV, on TV. Now everyone can see it on YouTube. But I think still, like 10 years ago, the audience was bigger. Now the audiences keep getting smaller and smaller, but it's more on the internet. Everything people have a tendency to watch things more on the internet and on YouTube rather than going live out to a concert or actually watching a show on TV that has been recorded. I don't know. I mean, it's a double-edged sword. There's good and bad about it, but times are definitely changing, and
Yes. Okay. Okay, we continue with the interview with Ralph Rieckelmann. Okay, we have another question. Do you have some kind of religion when you were a child or right now?
Well, when I was a child, I grew up kind of Christian. My parents, they were never really very religious. I wasn't raised very religious. I did have religion classes in my school. We went to church for Christmas and the usual things that everyone does when you grow up in Germany. Personally, I had quite a few strong, how do you say, emotions or things happened to me that I cannot explain. That were very powerful, especially in my younger life. That could have been religious, or they could have been supernatural, or they could have just been visions in my brain, in my mind that I created. What I believe personally, I believe that religion is very dangerous, especially today more than now than ever. I think spirituality is very important. Believe in something you must, because there's definitely some higher power out there that we don't understand, but also I think we're not supposed to understand it. Because if we were supposed to understand it, and if there was one true, people refer to God, whatever, money to, whatever you want to call it, if there was one true person that ruled everything or that was controlling and created everything, he would have made that, or she would have made that clear a very, very long time ago to the entire human race that there's only one. But since that never happened, we all assume and we all getting taught that, there is this one person to look up to that's looking out for us and yada, yada, yada. But at the same time, all the religious people in the world, they fight each other. Not all of them, but a lot of them. Sometimes in small arguments, when some people, they come across me and I say, listen, I think religion is dangerous because it divides people and it creates wars. Almost all the wars and a lot of the people on this planet that are killed are being killed because of religious beliefs. Now, having said that, again, I believe in some higher power, but I believe this higher power does not want to be recognized and it does not want to be labeled. Because if it wanted to be labeled, if it wanted to be recognized, and if it wanted to be celebrated, it would have made that very clear to all of us a very, very long time ago. Now people argue, they say, okay, well the Bible, it was written and yada, 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 these books were written. Yeah, but these books were written long, long, long time ago. And how do we know what these people really thought and really felt in those days when they were written? Because they're long dead, they're long gone. There's no way for us to find out. So you just have to go with your instinct. And my instinct tells me, be careful with labeling something. And, be careful with I mean, the church. Just look at how powerful the Catholic Church is. They have so much power, but then at the same time they have so much corruption. And like all the Muslims, some of the Muslim people. I mean, there's in all religions. I think there's something very important and very powerful messages that I think that are that are not necessarily to be taken literally, but that can teach you a lot about life. Like the Bible is fantastic; it's a great book, and there's a lot of really really powerful things in there. Like almost every good book that you can take and make it your own and learn something from it. But should you really take it literally? Do we really come from Adam and Eve? Was the world really created in 7 days? I think that's very, very naive to believe that really happened, because we all know that evolution is the real reason why we're all here. Anybody that says evolution doesn't exist, we were created from, yada, 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 and, Garden of Eden or whatever, to me is living in some kind of a dream world.
Okay. What does scorpions means to you?
The scorpions? Well, the scorpions, the band Scorpions, I mean, they're fantastic guys. When I first met them, I became friends with them right away. There was a fantastic chemistry in the room from the beginning, and I think that's why I was chosen. No one else was ever auditioned, and it was just an immediate chemistry, and later it became a friendship. When you're on the road with a band like that, it's almost like a marriage. Constantly together. You have to understand each other. It's not only the music; it's like personalities. You have to get along, and they're great guys. They're really down to earth. They're not like other people that I've met that are in the music business that are like somewhat arrogant or think that they're something special. They live a very normal life, and so did I. I don't believe I'm anything special. Some people always call me like, "Oh man, you're this rock star, yada yada." I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm just a normal person. I just got lucky, playing in a band like that and making music. And I worked really hard my whole life, training bass and learning all these instruments, and now learning art and how to DJ and how to paint. There's a painting behind me right there from Jim Morrison that I did.
Awesome.
You can see all my art on ralphsart.com. And then I have a DJ website also. It's rieckelmanndj.com. But and they're a fantastic band, and I had a fantastic time with them. But at one point, we just had a difference of opinion with the music. I thought we should have evolved into something different and something, like a newer type of music. Which the one song that I wrote, Mysterious, was I think pretty much the most successful song since Winds of Change, at least here in America and Canada. It was the first time Scorpions actually had the song playing in nightclubs and people were dancing to it. It had a lot of radio play, went up in the charts with like 2, 3, 4, like all over America. And my opinion was to modernize the band. But the other guys, since they're like almost 20 years older than me, they thought that they wanted to make music that sounded like the 80s, sounded like rocky, like a hurricane, and there's no one like you and stuff like that. Which is, a different opinion. But I said, listen, if someone wants to listen to rocky like a hurricane, they're going to listen to rocky like a hurricane. They're not going to buy a new record that sounds like rocky like a hurricane, or was trying to sound like rocky like a hurricane 20 years ago. Because these people that listen to this stuff or to our stuff, they grew up as well. So we should be trendsetters. We shouldn't be following a trend, like going back in time. We should be, like be a trendsetter, like create something new that no one has heard yet. And that's what I've always tried to do with my own music, because I have my own bands too. I always try to create a sound or something, even with my art or even with my DJing. I always try to create something that no one has done before. And that's what I'm really interested in the most. And that's why, eventually we lived apart. We never fought. There was no bad breakup. It was just a difference of opinion and musical taste. That was it.
So, when this song, "Send Me an Angel," you were in the Scorpions.
What?
When this song was recorded by the Scorpions, "Send Me an Angel," you were there.
No, I believe that song was on Crazy World, Winds of Change, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that was the record before me. That was the last record with Francis, and the next record was Face the Heat. Face the Heat was the first record with me.
Oh, okay, yeah, because this is one of the greatest hits they have. Wind of Change.
Yeah, you can see it's one of my favorite songs. It's one of my favorite lyrics. I think that song has amazing lyrics. I absolutely love that song.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, there's quite a few songs in the Scorpions, like for example Dynamite or Blackout, that I'm not very fond of. I don't really like that type of music because I cannot move to it. It doesn't have a groove. I'm more like a guy that likes funk. I like
Okay.
Bon Jovi, for example, or AC/DC. They have music. It's rock, but you can dance to it. You can move to it because they have a beat. They have a groove. And I like ballads too. I think ballads are fantastic. But a lot of the Scorpion songs, for me, didn't have this groove. And this song, Mysterious, that I wrote, it did have this groove. And people were actually dancing and responding to it. And I wish we would have done more like that. But, the rest of the guys just didn't want to go that direction. So.
Okay. So, finally, what advice do you have for all these young people in America? What advice do you have for all these people in Canada, in United States, Central America, South America?
Very simple. Follow your dreams. Okay. I'm the best example. I moved from Germany to America with nothing and lost everything. I fought for like 15 years, not because I wanted to be famous or rich like most people do these days when you ask them, what do you want to do? They say, oh, I want to be famous and rich. How do you get there? First, you need talent and skills. So that's the wrong motive, just to be rich and famous. And that never really works. Unless you're Kim Kardashian or Paris Hilton and put out a porn tape, But I think those times are over now too. But I think you should hold on to your dreams, work as hard as you can, dream as hard as you can, follow your dreams, and if it doesn't work, there's always time to go back to something else. But if you dream, don't dream about just being rich and famous. Dream about your passion. Dream about like creating something that no one else does. Dream about creating art. Like you have to have the passion inside of you that you wanna that something wants to come out of you to share with the world. That you have. It's almost like a feeling when I used to write music, especially back in the days, or now when I paint or DJ. It feels like some other power, which other people might refer to as religion. But like I said, I believe in spiritual. I believe in religious things. I just don't like to label it. I don't like to say this is this is that, this is that. I just say it's for me it's the power of nature. So something is coming through me and wants to I channel this power through me. Call it the power of the universe, whatever. And it just wants to break out, wants to break free. If you can channel that somehow and put that into your art, then I think there's a place for everyone to become heard. Maybe not super successful, but definitely to be heard or seen or felt. So
Oh,
keep dreaming, keep working, keep doing what you like best, be passionate, and work hard.
yeah, very interesting words for all these people, young people that keep dreaming, that want to be artists, that want to paint, that want to do music and all these things. And thank you. And we will see if we have you here in Central America, in Costa Rica, Honduras. We never
Okay?
know, you know.
Yeah, I love it out there. I would love to come out there. Maybe I'll come out there and do a DJ show or show my art or something.
Yeah, paintings could be very interesting. Yeah.
All right? All right, my friend. So all of you, happy Valentine's. May the force be with you.
Yeah, thank
and
you.
you guys have a great time, okay?
Okay.